Great night, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is How To Whatever. Now, if you are new, this channel is all about self improvement and figuring out how to do particular things in our lives that will make us better. And I've come up with a few life hacks and a few tricks and tips that I can share with you guys. And of course, I always love the feedback. So if you ever watch any of my videos and you feel like there's some idea that I probably missed or something that you can add, then please, by all means, comment so that I can see and I will add it into, my future referencing and stuff. So let's get right into it. This episode on how to whatever, I want to talk about how to come up with great ideas, or another topic I'm playing with, or another title that I'm playing with is how to unlock your creativity. Now, I've always been the type of person to think about things in a different way. Everybody else is doing this way. What if you tried it another way? It may work, it may not work. But the point is, I try to think about things in a different way. And I think that is one of the reasons why I am able to do things on a creative level. There are several factors that come into play, but one of the real reasons that for me, I think outside the box. Now, I know it's a cliche term nowadays because everybody's thinking outside the box, but if you really look at how everybody else is doing things and then you wonder to yourself if there's a way to do it better, that's the beginning of your creativity right there. You're asking questions. So, the first thing I'm going to let you guys know is if you really want to unlock your creativity, you've got to ask questions. Why? Why? How? What? Where? When? Ask the questions and then go and seek the answers. So you have to be feeding your brain on these things, how things are done, and you got to investigate because you never know. Maybe somebody's already started your process of creativity and you can pick up where they left off. So we're going a bit old school tonight. I've got myself a journal and I love these things, right? So I've got more than one journal, but this one in particular is my personal level. And even though I was a bit struggling for a topic to discuss tonight because there's so many things on my mind, this one jumped out at me. So I'm gonna share it with you. It's on how to unlock your creativity. And the first question I asked myself is, do great ideas just pop into my head from out of nowhere? Like you're just walking on the road and poof, oh my gosh, why don't we make floating sidewalks? I don't know. Do these ideas just pop into your head? Have you ever had a great idea and wondered where it came from? So here's my thought. Great ideas don't just pop into your head. They're coming from somewhere. They're coming from a source that maybe in your subconscious you didn't realize it was there. But it's definitely coming from somewhere, and I think it's contributed to how you feed your mind, what you're doing, what your subconscious is thinking, what your portals are receiving. So your ears and your eyes and your nose, your senses, what are they receiving on a daily basis, right? And are you being distracted from your own thoughts? Sometimes we numb ourselves with social media and TV and just general pleasures in life. So, are these things actually distracting us from becoming creative? All right, so that's a thought, food for thought, right? I would say thoughts of creativity do not just pop out of nowhere. Thoughts of creativity, when they do come, they're coming from a place, whether in your frontal lobe or deep in your subconscious, they're coming from somewhere of familiarity, somewhere that you've already known and been, but you're thinking about it and you're thinking how to make it better. Because we're always, as human beings, our natural inclination is to improve. We fight it because we don't like change, but we always want to be better, believe it or not. The problem is, a lot of persons, they prefer to just sit back and not work at it. They always ask, is there an easier way to do it? Yeah, but why do you need an easier way? Sometimes you gotta push for it. Sometimes you gotta fight for it. So your creativity, you gotta unlock it. And sometimes to unlock it, you have to go against the grain. You have to go against your norm. You have to break your cycle. Which leads me to my next point. Um, I asked myself another question, and this one used to get to me. This one really used to get me. Why do all the best ideas come when I'm about to go to sleep? I mean, you're lying down in your bed, right? And you're about to get some rest, and all of a sudden, you got a flood of ideas just coming at you, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even have a pen. What am I do? What am I gonna do with all these ideas?" And you go to sleep, and you don't remember those ideas sometimes. You know what I mean? So why is it that when we're about to sleep, that is when all of the flood of ideas are coming in? I'll give you a hint. We just said it. When you're about to go to sleep, in most cases, you're not distracted. You're finally in a place of calm, and you're in a place of serenity, and you're in a place of peace and quiet. That is the key. That is the key right there to unlocking your creativity. Your brain is always clicking. Your brain is always talking to you, but are you listening? You know what I mean? Are you picking up the thoughts that are coming across, or are you just watching something and you're allowing your mind to just be numbed by your extremities? So, my question to you, are you getting great ideas coming at you when you're about to go to sleep? Well, here's what you're going to do. Instead of waiting until you go to sleep to find that peace and that calm, how about developing a schedule where your peace and your calm can come while you're awake? So this brings me to my next idea. How to ignite your creativity. Now, as I said before, creativity comes from a place, maybe in our subconscious, maybe at the front of our minds or whatever, but it comes from a place of familiarity. It's things that we receive, it's things that we come up with through whatever we are watching, whatever we're reading, whatever we're listening to. So my suggestion to you is that if you do really want to ignite that creativity inside you, start to read stuff that's different. Start to read more of your passions. Start to read more. Just read more. And if you're not reading, try to listen to things that are educational. Try to pick a topic, listen to everything you can about it. You can use lots of different mediums to do this, right? But the idea is definitely feed your mind. And the more you feed your mind, especially if you're feeding your mind on one particular topic, pick a topic. If you're feeding your mind on one particular topic for one whole week, I guarantee you by the end of the week, you'll be coming up with ideas on how to make that topic better and how to even present that topic. So it's a process, as with everything else. This videos come out weekly, so every Saturday morning I drop a video, and you can try this experiment for yourself. Go ahead and pick a topic. I'm gonna do it too. We're gonna pick a topic, and my topic is gonna be swimming. My daughter is in swimming and she loves it, and I always encourage her to watch videos. So I'm gonna do it because she doesn't do it, and I'm gonna say, what can be done about swimming to make it better. And I'll present that in my next video. Just 30 seconds, maybe a minute, won't take long. But the idea still remains the same. You feed your mind on whatever it is that you're thinking about being creative about. You pick a topic, and by the end of 5 days, you will have ideas about that particular topic to make it better. That is just natural human tendency. We always look for something better. Now, the thing is, are we going to act on it? Are we going to actually do something about it? Now, in order to actually actuate, we have to make sacrifices. Human beings keep busy, right? If you're keeping busy, granted, you probably won't have the time, but you have to make the time, right? And if you're really about self-improvement, you will know how to make the time. When we start to sacrifice certain things, you look at your schedule on a daily basis and see how much you use on eating, how much you use on watching TV, whatever it is, even playing sports. How long do you exercise? How long do you do whatever you do? How much time do you spend at work? And if you're at work, how much of that time that you're at work do you actually spend working? So when you start to look at your daily schedule and you actually start to see that you have pockets of time that are not being used, here's how you're going to use it. You're going to start putting things. Did I say pudding? No, not pudding. Putting. You're going to start putting things in place to make those sacrifices. And you're going to sacrifice distractions. That's my first suggestion to you for this. Sacrifice your distractions. Whatever is distracting you from being creative, get rid of it just for 1 week, right? Let's call it a mini fast. So whatever it is, if it's an app on your phone that you're always opening when you're bored, get rid of it. Delete it. Wipe it out. You no longer need it for 1 whole week, okay? Bear with me. Now, this sacrifice is going to help you to put something else in place, which I personally love, and it's called journaling. Now, I never used to journal before, but I found that my thoughts go all over the place. And you need to journal. You need to write them down, because there's no way you're going to remember all those thoughts that when you're ready for them, they're going to come back. So even tonight, I had to write them down. You know, this is old school for me. Lots of people use their phones, their tablets, their computers. There are several different ways of journaling. You don't have to actually get a physical book and pen. However, I will say this: nothing is better for me than being able to draw freehand and write down my ideas and how they connect. Okay, so I will say this: once you've sacrificed the distractions that are preventing you from being creative, start to write down the ideas that are popping into your head in those empty spaces. So every time you feel like opening your phone and opening an app, instead of opening the app, open your journal, wherever your journal is. Even if nothing is coming to you, just draw a circle. Just draw a circle, right? And start there. Maybe you're going to repeat the topic that you're trying to meditate on for this week, right? So write down the topic that you're doing for the week. I like to date my work, so I always put the date, and then just draw a circle. Start there. Whatever is going to go in the middle of that circle, then you start drawing your lines outward, and you start figuring out your creative road map. Yeah? Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Good. I'm about to make this all come together, because with your journal and your sacrifice, then you have to look at what you've done and be still. This is, for me, the most important part of creativity. You have to, no matter what you do, once your brain is able to focus on other things, those ideas get muffled. Now, it doesn't happen to everybody. Some people have been doing great ideas for so long that once a great idea pops into their head, boom, they can run with it. And that's amazing. That is amazing. Now, for those who are seeking to unlock their creativity, I suggest you pull it back. Find those distractions and clear them out. Clear out all those distractions. First things first. Then you make sure you have your journal handy, because you're going to need to start writing things down, right? I love to write things down freehand so that I get to draw. Then you need to make sure that you can see the problems. So you're feeding your mind so you can see the problems. Once you start writing down what you think are the problems, you're going to start figuring out ways of improving them. There are no bad ideas. You just need to flesh them out. Okay? And at the end of all of that, at the end of all the sacrificing and the journaling and the being, you need to be still. Be still and allow your brain to meditate on these ideas, because you have great ideas inside of you. You have wonderful, splendid, world-changing ideas that the world needs. Everybody needs to hear it. How are you going to get there? You need to get there by writing them down, journaling, researching, and being still. So I really appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. Thank you so much. This is another episode of How to Whatever. And tonight we spoke about how to unlock your creativity, or how to come up with great ideas. You choose. Which idea do you prefer? So thank you very much, guys, for joining me this evening. Remember that this video is also a podcast, so you can check me out on YouTube and you can check me out on Spotify. And I appreciate all the comments, all the feedback, all the corrections. I appreciate it all. I appreciate interaction. So thank you guys. God bless you and have a great night.